Imagine drifting off to sleep in a world lit only by flickering hearth flames, no screens, no alarms, no buzzing devices pulling you back awake. Night unfolded gently, ruled by natural rhythms and quiet darkness. The air cools as dusk settles, and the daily noise fades into soft whispers of wind and crackling embers. This was a time when sleep came easily, undisturbed by artificial light or digital distractions. The world slowed, inviting rest without interruption, allowing bodies and minds to reset naturally. Inside a medieval longhouse, a warm wool blanket billows gently in a soft evening breeze, its coarse texture comforting against skin. A simple straw mattress lies atop a sturdy wooden frame, surrounded by thick earthen walls that shelter the space from chill. The faint scent of lavender and dried straw lingers in the air, mingling with the steady crackle of embers glowing low in the hearth. Voices grow hushed as the community settles in, their movements slow and measured in the fading light. This quiet sanctuary embraces rest, untouched by modern noise. Tonight, we uncover why the people of medieval Europe slept deeper, dreamed richer, and woke more rested than we ever will. In their world, natural darkness and ritual shaped rest, crafting a sleep cycle attuned to body and season. What did they know that we have lost? What secrets lie in the shadows between wakefulness and dreams? The hearth's glow dims as night fully descends, inviting us to explore the rhythms of a forgotten sleep. At midnight, the village lies hushed, bathed in the soft glow of a lone lantern. Its flickering light stretches shadows along cobblestone streets and shuttered windows, casting the world in muted tones. The air holds a quiet stillness, broken only by the faint rustle of wind through bare branches and the distant hoot of an owl. Wooden beams creak softly, as if settling into the calm. In this suspended moment, the village breathes gently, poised between wakefulness and rest, wrapped in the anticipation of night's deep embrace. Edric, the village miller, emerges into this stillness, his face streaked with flour and lined by exhaustion. He pulls back a heavy wool curtain, revealing a floor strewn with rushes, soft beneath his worn boots. Moving quietly, he pads toward a low oak bed piled high with further modest refuge from the day's labor. His hands, dusted with white powder, linger briefly on the rough-hewn frame before he settles in. Here, away from the grinding stone and creaking wheel, he finds a moment of peace. Anna, the village herbalist, steps forward gently, placing a small pouch filled with dried chamomile and lavender atop Edric's pillow. The fragrant herbs release a soothing aroma, carried by the cool night air. This simple Taimanard gift offers Rilifer natural balm to ease the weary body and quiet the restless mind. Passed down through generations, these herbs hold secrets of restful sleep, connecting Edric to a long line of village nights like this one. Beyond the cottage walls, Brother Benedict's chant of final vespers rises softly, weaving through shuttered windows and settling like a benediction over the sleeping village. The candlelight flickers in the church's stained glass, casting colorful patterns on cold stone. Edric inhales deeply, the herbal scent mingling with the sacred melody. He slips beneath the covers, eyes closing in perfect calm as the world slows to the tolling of the midnight bell. In that quiet moment, sleep gently embraces the night. At 2 a.m., a neon-lit bedroom pulses with harsh artificial light. Phone screens glare relentlessly, notifications ping in rapid succession, and blue light floods the room with an unforgiving intensity. Shadows shift restlessly across walls cluttered with electronic devices, each buzzing with demands for attention. The atmosphere is starkly different from the quiet darkness of nights past. Silence is broken, not by nature, but by technology. Tonight, many lie captive to the glow of their screens, trapped in a digital cage that disrupts the natural rhythm of rest. In this room, a pale, anxious figure tosses and turns on a memory foam mattress, eyes wide open in the darkness. Limbs flail restlessly beneath tangled covers, flushed skin betraying discomfort and sleepless frustration. Mental noise competes with physical unease as the body struggles to surrender to rest. The sterile comfort of modern bedding contrasts sharply with the turmoil beneath. The battle for sleep has become a nightly ordeal, marked by tension and desperation. Across the globe, 35% of adults report poor sleep quality, while the average person checks their phone 58 times each night. Nearly 40% lie awake for more than half an hour, caught in a cycle of restlessness and frustration. These statistics underscore a growing epidemic. Insomnia silently erodes health and well-being. Often overlooked amid the noise of modern life, the struggle to reclaim restorative sleep has become a universal challenge, demanding urgent attention and new approaches. Ironically, our arsenal against sleeplessness is itself part of the problem. Blue light filters, sleep tracking apps, alarms, and caffeine all promise relief, but often perpetuate. Screens glow into the night, alarms jolt us prematurely, and stimulants extend our restless hours. The very tools designed to aid sleep frequently keep us tethered to wakefulness, deepening the divide between our body's needs and modern habits. Yet, while we wrestle with complex technology, our ancestors mastered sleep through simplicity, rhythm, and ritual. Candlelit rooms, natural darkness, and calming routines fostered peaceful rest. Their wisdom lies in harmonizing with nature's cycles, rather than fighting against them. Tonight, as we confront our sleeplessness, we seek to rediscover their knowledge, offering hope that by returning to these fundamental truths, we might reclaim the deep, restorative sleep once so common. In a time before electricity, life was governed by the rising and setting of the sun. Natural light guided daily rhythms, while communal rituals marked the passage of evening into night. Herbal remedies, such as lavender and chamomile, were tucked into pillows, aiding restful sleep. Architectural designs of the era, from drafty longhouses to stone monasteries, fostering an environment conducive to deep rest. These elements combined to create a sleep science rooted in nature and culture, producing a quality of rest that modern innovations have yet to replicate. As candlelight flickers across longhouse interiors and monks settle into silent prayer, the perfect medieval sleep environment comes alive, revealing wisdom we are only now beginning to fully understand. Our journey will bridge science, history, and lived experience. Cutting-edge studies in circadian biology show how medieval schedules naturally aligned with the body's internal clock, promoting healthier sleep patterns. Historical artifacts, including herbal stuffed pillows and medieval texts describing segmented sleep, provide tangible proof of intentional rest practices. Through immersive reenactments, we step into the daily lives of peasants, monks, and nobles, witnessing firsthand how environment, ritual, and routine shaped their nights. These layered perspectives, from laboratory research to ancient manuscripts to lived tradition, and a comprehensive understanding of medieval sleep, a lost art that informs both past and present. We invite you to join this exploration, offering more than history, a practical guide to reclaiming forgotten sleep wisdom. Through quiet moments, lighting a candle, the peaceful breath of a sleeper, and the glow of fading firelight, we connect with rhythms long overlooked. This journey peels back centuries of cultural knowledge, revealing secrets that could profoundly transform your nights. Embrace the possibility of sleep renewed, guided by the harmony of nature and tradition. Join us as we rediscover a deeper rest and Reclaim secrets that could transform your nights forever. Candlelight flickers softly across the aged parchment of a medieval manuscript, illuminating detailed diagrams that divide the night into watches and sleep cycles. These illustrations reveal a world where nighttime was carefully structured and honored, not simply endured. Before the advent of artificial light, people's lives followed natural rhythms, marked by periods of wakefulness and rest through the dark hours. Sleep was segmented, with first and second sleeps separated by hours of quiet activity or prayer. This ancient understanding shaped the way communities experienced night not as one long, uninterrupted stretch, but as a sacred cycle woven into the fabric of daily life. In this way, medieval societies cultivated a relationship with night that balanced physical rest and spiritual reflection. Medieval life was governed by the steady rhythms of sunrise and sunset, with no electric lights to disrupt the natural flow of melatonin production. Modern scientific studies confirm that exposure to low-spectrum flame light, such as that from candles or hearth fires, preserves the body's natural sleep hormones. This allowed medieval people to fall asleep and awaken in harmony with their internal clocks. As the sun set over villages and hearth fires flickered within homes, sleep unfolded naturally in two distinct phases. Dr. Roger Eckerch, a leading historian of sleep, explains segmented sleep matches natural hormone rhythms, underscoring how medieval schedules supported optimal biological function. This alignment contrasts sharply with modern exposure to artificial lighting, which fragments sleep and disrupts our circadian systems. Historical accounts and contemporary sleep science describe segmented sleep as two distinct phases. A first sleep of deep rest, followed by a period of quiet wakefulness, then a second sleep before morning. During this interval, people engaged in prayer, conversation, or household tasks, making night a dynamic and communal time. Animations illustrate how the brain cycles through sleep stages in this segmented pattern, while reenactments depict families gently rising from their beds to share stories or attend to chores. This rhythm, now largely lost in the pace of modern life, allowed for mental restoration and spiritual connection. The medieval segmented sleep pattern reflects a natural biological rhythm that modern continuous sleep often disrupts, offering insight into healthier rest. Medieval homes featured architectural designs that created cool and stable nighttime temperatures, ideal for restorative sleep. Thatched roofs and thick stone walls insulated interiors against seasonal fluctuations, preventing heat buildup. Hearth fires were centrally placed to provide warmth without harsh glare, allowing rooms to remain comfortably cool. Thermal imaging of reconstructed longhouses reveals a consistent microclimate that encouraged uninterrupted slumber. This environment contrasted with the overheated, artificially lit rooms common today, which impair sleep quality. The balance of warmth and coolness, fostered by medieval building methods, supported the body's natural temperature drop during sleep, a critical factor for deep rest. Archaeological studies confirm that medieval longhouses maintained a microclimate that stabilized both humidity and temperature, key factors in sleep quality. Cross-section animations show how building materials and layout worked together to buffer external conditions, ensuring interior environments remained calm throughout the night. Aerial views of village reconstructions emphasize the intentional design, with homes oriented and constructed to maximize these effects. This purposeful architecture was not only about shelter, but also about creating spaces optimized for human physiology. Such design anticipated modern principles of healthy living environments, reflecting a deep understanding of how structure influences sleep and well-being. Sleeping arrangements varied according to status, but shared a common focus on insulation and comfort. Peasant beds consisted of straw-tick mattresses, layered with feathers or wool, providing cushioning and temperature regulation. Rushes strewn on floors added softness and helped manage humidity, preventing dampness. Nobles enjoyed feather-stuffed beds with finer linens, reflecting both wealth and comfort priorities. Close-ups reveal the textures of these materials and hands carefully fluffing feather bedding. This tailored approach ensured sleep environments were suited to climate and social standing, balancing practical needs with available resources. The use of natural fibers contributed to a breathable and soothing sleep surface, supporting restfulness throughout the night. Herbs such as chamomile, lavender, valerian, and mugwort were harvested during specific lunar phases to maximize potency. These botanicals were infused into sachets and pillows, releasing essential oils known to promote relaxation and reduce anxiety. Visuals show bundles of drying herbs and delicate sewing of fragrant pillows. Sleep experts note these compounds interact with GABA receptors in the brain, functioning similarly to modern anxiolytic medications, but without harsh side effects. Dr. Matthew Walker highlights these botanicals function like modern anxiolytics, demonstrating how medieval herbal science employed natural remedies to enhance sleep quality. This ancient practice offered a holistic approach to rest that combined environmental factors with botanical therapy. Historical documents describe how nighttime was divided into two sleep phases, known as the first and second sleep. During this interval, people engaged in activities like prayer, dream sharing, or household tasks. Scenes depict noble women exchanging lavender sachets and monks quietly recording dream omens. This practice created a communal and spiritual dimension to night, turning sleep into a shared, sacred experience. The segmentation also reduced sleep inertia and allowed for reflection and connection before returning to rest. These traditions highlight the social as well as biological significance of medieval sleep patterns, reinforcing rest as a vital cultural ritual. Medieval nightly rituals eased the transition between sleep phases, incorporating prayers, dream interpretations, and quiet domestic tasks. Candlelit rooms glow softly as inhabitants move calmly through the second sleep period. These rituals offered both psychological comfort and spiritual meaning, framing night as a liminal space between consciousness and rest. The sacred rhythm established a framework that minimized anxiety and promoted peaceful sleep cycles. This intentional approach to nighttime set medieval rest apart from the disconnected, hurried sleep common today, emphasizing the integration of mind, body, and community in the experience of night. Primary sources like court records and diaries, including writings from Bede, document medieval sleeping habits with remarkable consistency. Manuscripts display handwritten notes and careful quill work outlining segmented sleep schedules and associated customs. These records provide empirical evidence that segmented sleep was widely practiced and socially accepted. The historical documentation adds weight to scientific findings, bridging past and present understanding of sleep. By tracing these patterns through written history, we gain insight into how deeply embedded the art of rest was in medieval culture. The scene closes with a slow aerial pan over a medieval village at midnight. Every roof is dark, every hearth's glow fades gently into the night. Silent streets and shuttered windows convey a community perfectly attuned to the natural cycles of rest. This collective stillness embodies the culmination of centuries of environmental, social, and scientific wisdom dedicated to sleep. The village rests in harmony with nature's rhythms, illustrating a profound and ancient mastery of the sacred art of sleep, one that modern life is only beginning to rediscover. Candlelight flickers softly across the aged parchment of a medieval manuscript, illuminating detailed diagrams that divide the night into watches and sleep cycles. These illustrations reveal a world where nighttime was carefully structured and honored, not simply endured. Before the advent of artificial light, people's lives followed natural rhythms, marked by periods of wakefulness and rest through the dark hours. Sleep was segmented, with first and second sleeps separated by hours of quiet activity or prayer. This ancient understanding shaped the way communities experienced night not as one long, uninterrupted stretch, but as a sacred cycle woven into the fabric of daily life. In this way, medieval societies cultivated a relationship with night that balanced physical rest and spiritual reflection. Medieval life was governed by the steady rhythms of sunrise and sunset, with no electric lights to disrupt the natural flow of melatonin production. Modern scientific studies confirm that exposure to low-spectrum flame light, such as that from candles or hearth fires, preserves the body's natural sleep hormones. This allowed medieval people to fall asleep and awaken in harmony with their internal clocks. As the sun set over villages and hearth fires flickered within homes, sleep unfolded naturally in two distinct phases. Dr. Roger Eckhart, a leading historian of sleep, explains segmented sleep matches natural hormone rhythms, underscoring how medieval schedules supported optimal biological function. This alignment contrasts sharply with modern exposure to artificial lighting, which fragments sleep and disrupts our circadian systems. Historical accounts and contemporary sleep science describe segmented sleep as two distinct phases. A first sleep of deep rest, followed by a period of quiet wakefulness, then a second sleep before morning. During this interval, people engaged in prayer, conversation, or household tasks, making night a dynamic and communal time. Animations illustrate how the brain cycles through sleep stages in this segmented pattern, while reenactments depict families gently rising from their beds to share stories or attend to chores. This rhythm, now largely lost in the pace of modern life, allowed for mental restoration and spiritual connection. The medieval segmented sleep pattern reflects a natural biological rhythm that modern, continuous sleep often disrupts, offering insight into healthier rest. Medieval homes featured architectural designs that created cool and stable nighttime temperatures, ideal for restorative sleep. Thatched roofs and thick stone walls insulated interiors against seasonal fluctuations, preventing heat buildup. Hearth fires were centrally placed to provide warmth without harsh glare, allowing rooms to remain comfortably cool. Thermal imaging of reconstructed longhouses reveals a consistent microclimate that encouraged uninterrupted slumber. This environment contrasted with the overheated, artificially lit rooms common today, which impair sleep quality. The balance of warmth and coolness fostered by medieval building methods supported the body's natural temperature drop during sleep, a critical factor for deep rest. Archaeological studies confirm that medieval law maintained a microclimate that stabilized both humidity and temperature, key factors in sleep quality. Cross-section animations show how building materials and layout worked together to buffer external conditions, ensuring interior environments remained calm throughout the night. Aerial views of village reconstructions emphasize the intentional design, with homes oriented and constructed to maximize these effects. This purposeful architecture was not only about shelter, but also about creating spaces optimized for human physiology. Such design anticipated modern principles of healthy living environments, reflecting a deep understanding of how structure influences sleep and well-being. Sleeping arrangements varied according to status, but shared a common focus on insulation and comfort. Peasant beds consisted of straw-tick mattresses layered with feathers or wool, providing cushioning and temperature regulation. Rushes strewn on floors added softness and helped manage humidity, preventing dampness. nobles enjoyed feather-stuffed beds with finer linens, reflecting both wealth and comfort priorities. Close-ups reveal the textures of these materials, and hands carefully fluffing feather bedding. This tailored approach ensured sleep environments were suited to climate and social standing, balancing practical needs with available resources. The use of natural fibers contributed to a breathable and soothing sleep surface, supporting restfulness throughout the night. Herbs such as chamomile, lavender, valerian, and mugwort were harvested during specific lunar phases to maximize potency. These botanicals were infused into sachets and pillows, releasing essential oils known to promote relaxation and reduce anxiety. Visuals show bundles of drying herbs and delicate sewing of fragrant pillows. Sleep experts note these compounds interact with GABA receptors in the brain, functioning similarly to modern anxiolytic medications, but without harsh side effects. Dr. Matthew Walker highlights these botanicals function like modern demonstrating how medieval herbal science employed natural remedies to enhance sleep quality. This ancient practice offered a holistic approach to rest that combined environmental factors with botanical therapy. Historical documents describe how nighttime was divided into two sleep phases separated by wakefulness, known as the first and second sleep. During this interval, people engaged in activities like prayer, dream sharing, or household tasks. Scenes depict noble women exchanging lavender sachets and monks quietly recording dream omens. This practice created a communal and spiritual dimension to night, turning sleep into a shared sacred experience. The segmentation also reduced sleep inertia and allowed for reflection and connection before returning to rest. These traditions highlight the social as well as biological significance of medieval sleep patterns, reinforcing rest as a vital cultural ritual. Medieval nightly rituals eased the transition between sleep phases, incorporating prayers, dream interpretations, and quiet domestic tasks. Candlelit rooms glow softly as inhabitants move calmly through the second sleep period. These rituals offered both psychological comfort and spiritual meaning, framing night as a liminal space between consciousness and rest. The sacred rhythm established a framework that minimized anxiety and promoted peaceful sleep cycles. This intentional approach to nighttime set medieval rest apart from the disconnected, hurried sleep common today, emphasizing the integration of mind, body, and community in the experience of night. Primary sources like court records and diaries, including writings from Bede, document medieval sleeping habits with remarkable consistency. Manuscripts display handwritten notes and careful quill work outlining segmented sleep schedules and associated customs. These records provide empirical evidence that segmented sleep was widely practiced and socially accepted. The historical documentation adds weight to scientific findings, bridging past and present understanding of sleep. By tracing these patterns through written history, we gain insight into how deeply embedded the art of rest was in medieval culture. The scene closes with a slow aerial pan over a medieval village at midnight. Every roof is dark. Every hearth's glow fades gently into the night. Silent streets and shuttered windows convey a community perfectly attuned to the natural cycles of rest. Within the monastery's stone walls, Brother Benedict softly chants matins, his voice echoing through candlelit cloisters. The rhythmic prayers serve as a spiritual anchor, marking the transitions between rest and wakefulness. Monks in habits move quietly through the halls, their presence a steady, calming force. This ritualized chanting structures time, blending sacred devotion with the rhythms of the body. The spiritual practice offers not only guidance, but a sense of order, reinforcing the connection between divine watchfulness and human rest. Peasants toil in the fields, gripping plough handles firmly as earth turns beneath their efforts. Nearby, grinding stones slowly crush grain, their steady rotations underscoring the rhythm of daily labor. This physical exertion builds natural fatigue, preparing the body for restful sleep at day's end. The earthy scents of soil and grain mingle, grounding workers in their environment. Their labor is both a necessity and a natural prelude to rest, illustrating how bodily work and sleep were interwoven within medieval life. After a simple midday meal of pottage and ale, children curl into straw beds for brief naps. The gentle warmth of the hearth wraps around them, creating a safe cocoon amid the day's busyness. This communal pause serves as a vital recharge, allowing bodies and minds to rest and renew. The quiet hush of napping children punctuates the day, embedding rest into the fabric of life. These midday breaks balanced work and recovery, emphasizing that rest was not a luxury, but an essential part of daily routine. Lady Matilda draws heavy curtains as dusk settles, commanding attendants to light lamps infused with lavender oil. The soft glow fills her chamber with soothing warmth and a calming scent, signaling preparation for sleep. These deliberate rituals create a peaceful ambience, a stark contrast to the harshness of day. The infusion of lavender is more than decorative. It serves to relax nerves and ease the transition into rest. Matilda's refined practices reflect how status influenced sleep environments, blending comfort with subtle therapeutic effects. In a small village, Anna the herbalist brews a traditional sleep mead combining honey, sage, and hops. The fragrant concoction simmers gently, releasing soothing aromas into the air. This potent elixir, passed down through generations, is prized for promoting restful nights and easing anxiety. Anna's careful ladling of the mead into wooden vessels illustrates a deep understanding of natural remedies. Such herbal science provided a practical and culturally embedded means to enhance sleep quality, linking nature's gifts with human health. As night deepens, the household retreats to rest. A low fire flickers softly, casting shadows across the room. As family members' eyelids grow heavy, the first sleep is deep and segmented, a sacred passage into restoration. Close-ups capture the gentle descent from wakefulness into slumber, framed by the comforting glow of the hearth. This phase forms the foundation of the night's rest, characterized by physiological and psychological renewal before the brief interlude of wakefulness that follows. At the stroke of midnight, Idrik rises quietly to stoke the dying coals, careful not to disturb sleeping children. Meanwhile, Brother Benedict records a vivid dream filled with wheatfield flags, interpreting it as an omen. Soft candlelight flickers as the night hums with gentle activity, a time of quiet vigilance and contemplation. This interlude bridges segmented sleep phases, balancing physical rest with spiritual and familial connection, underscoring the sacredness of night. As the night wanes, the household slips back into bed for a second sleep. Soft blankets are drawn up, and faces settle into peaceful repose once more. This final phase completes the night's rhythm, allowing the body and mind to consolidate rest before dawn. The scene conveys serenity and restoration, the dawn is heralded by the first crow of the rooster, breaking the silence of night. Hearth embers glow faintly, preserving warmth against the morning chill. This natural alarm signals the approaching day, gently awakening the household. The crow serves as both a biological and cultural cue, integrating human rhythms with the environment. This moment marks transition, embodying the harmony between nature and daily life. Through the night, the crackle of burning rushes provides faint light and gentle warmth. Close-ups reveal flickering flames and curling smoke, whispering quiet comfort in the dark. These small sources of light offer safety and calm, reducing anxiety without disturbing sleep. The sensory detail evokes the tangible environment of medieval night, where subtle sounds and scents shaped experience. Thick wool blankets, felted and layered, cocoon sleepers in warmth and security. Hands draw these heavy covers close, revealing textured fabric that holds heat and breath. This tactile comfort was essential for enduring cold nights, providing both physical protection and psychological reassurance. The blanket's weight and texture contribute to a sense of safety, encouraging deeper, uninterrupted rest. The lingering scent of wood smoke clings to clothes and hair, a constant reminder of hearth-centered life. Smoke curls gently in the dawn light, intertwining with strands of tangled hair. This pervasive aroma connects inhabitants to their environment and to the communal rituals of fire and warmth. The smell of smoke embodies both survival and home, grounding the medieval experience of night and sleep. Lady Matilda awakens from a night of deep rest, her face serene and unburdened by the anxieties that plague modern life. Soft morning light bathes her as she stretches gently, transitioning smoothly from dream to day. Her calm demeanor reflects the restorative power of medieval sleep rhythms, rooted in environmental harmony and ritual. This moment illustrates the potential of sleep as true restoration, rather than a struggle against restlessness. In stark contrast, a modern insomniac tosses and turns beneath harsh bedroom lights. Restless limbs and wide-open eyes reveal a struggle for peace in a world of distraction and stress. The gulf between ancient sleep patterns and contemporary restlessness is clear, highlighting what has been lost. Yet the shared human quest for restful sleep remains, connecting past and present in a universal search for renewal. In the quiet halls of monastic dormitories, rows of simple beds stand in orderly lines, each space sparse but cared for. Contrast this with the warm, crowded lofts of peasant families, where multiple generations share the same bedding area, bodies close for both comfort and warmth. Sleep in medieval life was rarely isolated. It was communal and integral to daily existence. This shared experience fostered a sense of safety and belonging. Sleep was understood as sacred time structured by culture and necessity, shared among kin and community, and protected by rituals and customs. It was woven into the fabric of life, shaping social bonds as much as rest. After the harvest, guild halls and monasteries held sleep festivals, where communities came together to share beds and warmth through the cold nights. These gatherings were not just practical but deeply social, easing the anxieties that darkness could bring. The act of lying close, exchanging whispers and soft laughter, forged solidarity and comfort. In these shared spaces, fear of the night lessened, replaced by the strength found in togetherness. Such collective rest was a vital antidote to the isolation and vulnerability the dark could impose, turning sleep into a communal refuge. The cycle of night was framed by spiritual Compline and Matins, marking transitions between waking and resting. These prayers were not mere routines, but served as protective rituals, preparing the soul and body for sleep. Candlelit chapels echoed with solemn chants, enveloping monks and villagers alike in a sacred atmosphere. This spiritual framework connected rest to divine care, transforming sleep into a time of sacred passage. Prayer acted as a bridge between day and night, weaving faith into the very fabric of rest. After sunset, curfew bells tolled, signaling the start of enforced silence. Villages and towns grew quiet as night watchmen patrolled the streets, ensuring safety and hush. This ritual silence created a shared understanding of nighttime boundaries, reducing noise and disturbances that might disrupt sleep or invite danger. The steady toll of bells and the presence of watchmen structured the night, fostering calm and order. This social enforcement of quiet underscored the value placed on peaceful rest and communal security during dark hours. During the second sleep-an awakening, between segmented sleep phases, families gathered to share and interpret dreams. Village seers listened closely to these accounts, reading omens that guided decisions about planting, travel, and trade. Fireside gatherings became spaces of storytelling and reflection, where dreams were woven into daily life and practical planning. This practice gave dreams social and spiritual significance, integrating them into the community's collective wisdom and survival strategies. Dreams became a shared language that connected individuals to both the seen and unseen worlds. Nighttime storytelling extended beyond dream sharing, fostering resilience by transforming the fear of darkness into familiarity. Around flickering fires, listeners gathered to hear tales that knit community bonds and provided psychological comfort. The warmth of shared stories offered reassurance, turning night from a space of isolation into one of connection and belonging. These narratives eased anxieties and helped individuals process their fears through collective experience, reinforcing social cohesion amid uncertainty. Predictable routines surrounding sleep, from communal rest to ritual prayers, lowered cortisol levels and reduced anxiety. Calm faces drift into sleep as quiet village life unfolds around them. This rhythm of rest, structured by social and spiritual practices, created an environment conducive to restorative sleep. The stability offered by these routines soothed the mind and body, demonstrating how culturally embedded habits can support psychological well-being and resilience in the face of natural and social challenges. Dr. Sigrid Thompson explains that medieval societies ritualized the unknown elements of night, transforming fear into familiarity and strength. Through shared customs and sacred practices, the darkness was no longer a source of terror but a known and embraced experience. This cultural reframing allowed people to face night with confidence, supported by community and ritual. They did not flee the night, they embraced it as a shared, sacred time integral to life's cycle, cultivating resilience through meaning and connection. Sleep was never seen as mere escape, but as a communal embracer, time of comfort found in ritual, community, and shared silence. Families slept side by side, protected by the warmth of bodies and bonds. Dawnlight touches peaceful faces, symbolizing the renewal that followed this nightly communion. Sleep served as life's quiet heartbeat, grounding individuals in collective care and continuity. In this way, rest was an active and vital part of social and spiritual well-being, woven deeply into medieval existence. Guilds, monasteries, and villages organized sleep to promote safety and psychological well-being. Shared spaces, enforced quiet, and communal rituals created a social architecture that fortified individuals against the fears and vulnerabilities of darkness. This structure supported not only physical rest, but also emotional resilience, providing a fortress of human connection that warded off isolation and anxiety. Together, these communities built a protective framework around sleep, recognizing it as essential for survival and cohesion. Contrasting sharply with modern isolation in sleep, This communal model offers lessons for today's fragmented society. In a world where many face solitude and disrupted rhythms, the medieval approach reminds us of the power found in shared rest and ritual. Modern, solitary sleepers lie apart, often restless and disconnected. Reflecting on this historical perspective encourages a hopeful reimagining of how community and tradition might restore deeper, more connected rest in contemporary life. A medieval thatched roof is more than shelter. It is an intricate design of reeds and clay, layered carefully to regulate temperature and moisture. These materials work together to create a cool yet stable environment that protects sleepers from dampness and extreme cold. Dew collects gently on the reeds as night falls, maintaining a microclimate inside the home that encourages restful sleep. This architecture of rest begins from above, providing a natural insulation system that buffers against the chill and prevents excess humidity. Without modern climate control, medieval builders relied on these simple but effective techniques to cultivate comfort through the long night. Layered bedding was a cornerstone of medieval comfort, blending straw tick mattresses with layers of wool and feathers. This system allowed sleepers to customize warmth according to their needs and the changing seasons. Hands delicately place thick woolen blankets and soft feather beds, creating a nest of insulation that traps heat without overheating. This adaptability was essential in homes without thermostats or central heating. The textured layers cushioned the body and maintained a steady temperature, reflecting a practical understanding of comfort that modern sleep science continues to affirm. Roofs featured strategically placed smoke holes that vented hearth particulates while retaining essential warmth. Smoke curls upward through these vents, allowing fresh air to circulate without chilling the interior. This balance between ventilation and heat conservation was crucial in maintaining air quality inside the longhouse. The design minimized respiratory irritants and soot buildup while preserving a cozy atmosphere. Fresh air entered without compromising the body's warmth, demonstrating an early mastery of indoor environmental control, essential for peaceful sleep. Straw rushes strewn across earthen floors absorbed excess moisture, reducing mold growth and airborne allergens. The rushes acted as a natural air purifier, trapping humidity and improving indoor air quality. Close-up shots show hands scattering fresh rushes, their fibrous texture helping maintain cleanliness and comfort. This simple technique ensured a drier, healthier environment that protected occupants from damp-related illnesses. Such attention to moisture control contributed significantly to overall well-being and restful nights. Evening meals in medieval households favored complex carbohydrates like gruel and root vegetables, with limited protein and no caffeine or refined sugars. These foods provided a steady release of energy, preventing blood sugar spikes that disrupt sleep. Simple scenes of meal preparation highlight steaming bowls of porridge, reflecting a nutritional strategy aligned with natural circadian rhythms. Nourishment was timed to support the body's need for steady fuel through the night, fostering uninterrupted and restorative rest. Herbal pillows filled with lavender and hops released calming aromas that eased the nervous system. Warm hops tea, often sipped before bed, served as a natural relaxant, paralleling modern sleep hygiene protocols. Close-ups reveal sachets stuffed with dried flowers and herbs, emitting gentle volatiles that soothe and prepare the mind for rest. This botanical science utilized nature's own anxiolytics to create a tranquil sleep environment without pharmaceuticals, demonstrating a deep connection between tradition and well-being. The ambient hush of the village at night was punctuated only by natural sounds, like distant owl hoots and church bells. This gentle, unintrusive white noise replaced the cacophony of modern life, offering a soundscape designed by nature rather than machines. Quiet village streets and soft rustling leaves created an auditory environment conducive to deep, uninterrupted sleep. This natural sound design minimized disturbances and reinforced a sense of calm and security throughout the night. Unlike today's constant motorized hum and electronic buzz, medieval nights were free from artificial noise pollution. This absence ensured a peaceful sound environment, essential for maintaining deep sleep cycles. Juxtaposed shots of silent village nights and noisy urban streets emphasize the stark contrast in auditory experience. The quiet and stillness nurtured restful sleep, underscoring the impact of sound on health and well-being that modern research increasingly recognizes. Dr. Marcus Felton, architectural historian, explains how medieval builders intuitively perfected aspects of sleep hygiene through their environmental designs. Despite lacking scientific terminology, their choices in building materials, ventilation, and spatial arrangement created conditions ideal for restful sleep. Interview clips and reconstructions illustrate this mastery, revealing a sophisticated understanding of how architecture affects health. They may not have called it sleep hygiene, but they lived it, he observes, emphasizing the practical wisdom embedded in medieval life. Animated cross-sections show how heat, humidity, and sound moved through a 13th century cottage by night. Warmth radiates from the hearth, circulating gently through thick walls, while smoke exits through the smoke hole. Humidity is absorbed by rushes, maintaining balance. Acoustic waves carry the distant sounds of the village, blending into a soothing background. This deliberate orchestration of environmental factors created a sanctuary optimized for rest, balancing comfort and safety in every detail. As the hearth burns low, the village settles into a restful silence. Windows darken and the soft wind rustles through trees, carrying away the last vestiges of day. This scene embodies the harmony of environment, diet, and ritual that nurtured medieval sleep. Every element from thatched roofs to herbal pillows, from meal timing to silent streets combined in a silent promise of renewal. In this balance, medieval people found the restful sleep modern science now seeks to emulate. Nighttime in the city is a relentless cacophony of sounds and light-scar horns blaring, sirens wailing, and street lamps casting harsh illumination far beyond dusk. Neon signs flicker in every direction, reflecting off rain-slicked pavement as blurred traffic moves ceaselessly. This non-stop urban glow contrasts sharply with the quiet of centuries past, a world where darkness was not fought but embraced. We live lit and loud-wired into a 24/7 cycle that never pauses, constantly stimulating the mind and body, fragmenting the natural rhythms that once governed human life. Inside a dim bedroom, the blue light from a phone screen washes over a restless face. Fingers scroll endlessly, eyes wide and anxious despite the late hour. The soft glow highlights fatigue and frustration, a modern emblem of insomnia. This constant digital stimulation keeps the mind racing when it should be winding down, disrupting the body's preparation for rest. The bedroom, once a sanctuary of calm, has become a battleground between our natural need for sleep and the addictive pull of screens. Simple rituals can help break this cycle. Dimming lights as evening falls, turning off screens, and choosing analog books over digital distractions. Families and friends gather quietly, sharing moments of calm before bedtime. Candlelight replaces harsh bulbs, creating an atmosphere conducive to relaxation. These screen-free wind-downs reset the mind, signaling the transition from wakefulness to rest. Reclaiming such analog moments fosters mental peace restoring rhythms disrupted by modern technology. Aligning sleep with sunrise and sunset supports the body's circadian clock. Adjusting bedtimes and wake times seasonally honors the Earth's natural cycles. Lowering bedroom temperatures at night mimics ancient practices, helping the body cool down for deeper rest. Scenes of golden sunrises and soft sunsets illustrate the rhythm of day and night. Simple thermostat adjustments and mindful timing allow us to listen once again to the subtle signals of nature that have guided human sleep for millennia. Embracing a modern version of segmented sleep can invite calm. After an initial deep rest, a brief period of wakefulness can be used for quiet reflection, journaling, or meditation. This second sleep ritual, inspired by medieval practice, offers a peaceful pause without anxiety. By gently awakening and engaging in calming activities, the mind prepares for a second phase of restorative sleep. This practice cultivates clarity and calmness in the heart of the night. Incorporating herbal aids enhances nighttime routines. Sachets filled with lavender and hops placed under pillows emit calming aromas that ease the nervous system. Sipping warm chamomile or hops tea before bed promotes relaxation naturally. These botanicals echo ancient wisdom, gently preparing body and mind for rest without synthetic chemicals. The ritual of preparing and enjoying these natural remedies fosters mindfulness and signals the body to unwind. Neighborhood lights-out hours reduce nighttime noise, restoring quiet in urban environments. Group activities such as silent dinners or meditation circles cultivate collective calm and connection. These shared practices foster social harmony and create safe, restful spaces for all. Quiet streets and peaceful gatherings encourage mindfulness and help individuals feel supported, strengthening the social fabric that underpins well-being and restful sleep. Sleep coach Emma Clark advises building a personal medieval curfew, turning off screens promptly after sunset to reclaim natural rhythms. This disciplined approach creates clear boundaries, reducing overstimulation and preparing the mind for sleep. Coaching sessions emphasize the importance of intentionality and consistency in establishing habits that honor the body's need for rest. This modern curfew blends ancient wisdom with contemporary science for healthier sleep. Nutritionist Dr. Paula Reyes recommends swapping late caffeine for warm barley water or lavender tea. Traditional drinks known to promote relaxation and improve sleep quality. These herbal infusions soothe the nervous system, aiding the transition to rest without the jitters or crashes caused by preparing and savoring these drinks in the evening becomes a calming ritual that honors the body's natural rhythms and encourages peaceful slumber. You don't need a medieval thatch roof or a quiet village to reclaim restful sleep. What matters is intention, routine, and a touch of timeless wisdom. Simple practices, ritualized wind-downs, alignment with natural cycles, herbal aids, and communal calm can transform modern nights. As candlelit windows fade to darkness, a peaceful bedroom embodies the promise of renewal. Sleep is a sacred ritual waiting to be rediscovered, inviting us all to restore balance and embrace the restorative power of rest. Return to Edric's longhouse at first light, where the hearth's embers glow softly, casting a warm, flickering light against rough timber walls. Curtains hang gently drawn, shielding the interior from the morning chill. Edric stirs from his rest, his movements slow and deliberate as he rises refreshed. He greets his family with a genuine smile, a quiet testament to the restorative power of a night well slept. In their world, sleep was not stolen in hurried moments, but woven into daily life, embraced as essential and sacred. From smoky hearths to cool stone walls, from herbal sachets to shared dreams, Rest was a thread binding community and soul alike. In a quiet, modern bedroom, an insomniac sits upright, phone dark and set aside. They take a deep, steady breath, the tension easing from their face. Slowly, eyes close, once more not with frustration, but with calm surrender. This moment of peace symbolizes hope and the possibility of change. Rest can be reclaimed, not as an elusive prize, but as a natural rhythm waiting to be rediscovered. The space between wakefulness and sleep becomes a place of healing rather than struggle. Medieval peoples did not escape their worries by sleeping. They embraced sleep as a vital ritual, woven into the fabric of communal life and daily rhythm. Tonight, we invite you to ask yourself, what will you do to sleep better than ever? The past holds the keys, patiently waiting for us to unlock them. As the last flicker of the medieval hearth merges into the soft glow of dawn, past and present breathe as one, guiding us gently toward rest.